loud right now. I think you can hear it on the roof of my car. But I'm quickly going to pick up some pumpkins. There's a little wooden cabinet close to here where a local farmer puts in pumpkins that you can buy. So I'm going to do that because we want to do a little pumpkin carving night tonight at my sister's place. And we're going to make onion soup and it's going to be like a perfect cozy autumn night. But to do pumpkin carving we actually need some pumpkins. So I am on a mission. Hello and welcome to a new vlog. This time I wanted to do a little cozy autumn reading vlog because the autumn colors are at its peak right now. I'm feeling the cozy autumn vibes and I've been reading so much that it was time to update you a little on what I've been reading. But first let's address the elephant in the room, which is this situation. I cut my own bangs a few days ago and believe me, I'm a seasoned bang cutter. I've been doing it for years, it always went fine. I don't know what happened this time. I cut them too short, I cut them completely crooked. They are so chunky, I don't know what to do with them and I've decided to just let them grow out a little before I touch them again with scissors because I got scared. I got so scared. Like I was cutting them and my sister was there and she was sitting on like the edge of the toilet watching me in the bathroom and she literally fell off because she was laughing so hard because of how it looks. It already looks a little better now because it's a few days later, but oh my god. If I blow dry them in a certain way, it looks like I have micro bangs. And not gonna lie, I've been kind of enjoying that the past few days. Like it feels like there's an alternate version of me out there that can really rock micro bangs. I'm not that person because I'm not cool enough. But the past few days I could pretend that I was that person for a little bit and I kind of enjoyed it, not gonna lie. So we just have to deal with this for a bit. I'm sorry that you have to look at it. I hope they will grow out soon and they will look a little better. But I am happy I have bangs again. It's always such a hate-love relationship with me with bangs because they annoy the shit out of me because they always get greasy, they fly up, they are sticking in every direction, I have to style them every morning. It's so much work. I just feel like I look more like myself with bangs. I look more interesting, there's just always something going on. So even if you wear a really boring outfit, I feel like it sort of comes together because you're wearing bangs. So that's why I cut them again. I just wish it looked a little better, but oh well. Let's get into the books. When I came back from France, I started reading The Lost Estate by Hélène Fournier. I talked about this in my last vlog. The cover is stunning, but unfortunately it put me in a reading slump, so I stopped after the midway point. The premise is so good, it just did not deliver. If you didn't watch my last vlog, the premise of this is two guys at a boarding school and then one of the guys disappears for a few days and comes back with tales of like a mysterious manor in the forest where he partied for 3 days straight, he met a mysterious girl, and now he needs to find that manor back and his friend at the boarding school is going to help him, but it turns into like a toxic friendship situation. That sounds amazing and kind of spicy, but I forgot this was written in 1913 and what they found spicy then is definitely not spicy now. This book is literally sleep-inducing. And I've seen so many good reviews, so I'm sure it is good in the end and I want to push through at some point, but for now it just put me in a reading slump and it did not give me that mysterious dark academia autumn vibe that I was craving. So I put this one aside for now, but hopefully I will finish it at some point because I came so far, you know? Then, this is shocking, I hope you can handle it, I got an e-reader. I talked about it in my last vlog that I kind of got convinced that I needed an e-reader when I saw my friends having their e-reader on holiday and they could bring so many books without, you know, spraining their back from carrying the suitcase. It completely convinced me. And then I also discovered there was an e-reader with a colored screen from Kobo, which meant I could also read graphic novels on my e-reader, which meant I didn't have to buy the expensive and big physical copies. And that pushed me over the edge. So I got the Kobo Clara Color. This is not sponsored, but people are probably gonna ask. And the color screen is nice. I just did not account for the fact how small the screen would be. So I have to say that reading graphic novels is still not amazing because the letters are so small and zooming in on an e-reader is also horror. Everything freezes and flips. Like, if you're used to your phone, an e-reader is kind of hard to deal with because I'm a very impatient person and the screen reacts so slowly, which is fine while you're reading, but if you want to do anything else, it's kind of annoying, I must say. But other than that, I love my e-reader. I've been reading so much on it already. Kind of overwhelmed as well. I put so many books on there already because I also have access from the PDFs from publishers because I post about books online. So the possibilities are kind of endless right now. And I can tell I'm getting overwhelmed with all the books I want to read. I already had that with my bookshelf and now I also have it with my e-reader. Which might not be good, but it also means I've been reading a lot, which is nice because I was kind of in a slump after this one. So I'll quickly talk you through the books I read. I will not go too much in depth about them because we will be here forever. But I first started with 2 graphic novels because I was so excited about that. I read The Girl from the Sea and Garlic and the Vampire. I wanted cozy, cute graphic novels and these definitely delivered. The Girl from the Sea is a sapphic tale where a girl falls in love with a mermaid. It was very, very cute and also kind of heartbreaking. And then the Garlic and the Vampire was just adorable. They were both very quick reads. That's why I never really want to buy graphic novels physically because you go through them so fast. But yeah, I really enjoyed both of these. So if you want to read something really cute and easy, then I definitely recommend it. The art was also absolutely stunning. Currently I'm also reading Mooncakes, which is another graphic novel, which is so cute and probably my favorite so far in terms of art style. It is about a witch and a werewolf who are in love. It's queer. There are 2 witchy grandmas and there are adorable forest creatures, like insane. I almost cried when I saw those illustrations. So I definitely also recommend that one. I haven't finished it yet, but I know I will love the whole thing. Then next I read The Immortal Dark by Taijas Jurma, which is marketed as a dark academia vampire enemies to lovers. And I can't really say that's wrong, but the academia part of it all felt very questionable. Kind of like stupid at times actually, and I just rolled my eyes so many times during this book. The characters are so melodramatic. Like, I completely get what the author wanted to do with this book. She wanted to create a situation where the students at this university became so pressured that they turned to like obsessive, even evil behavior, backstabbing their friends. It was a whole toxic atmosphere, and then there was also vampires, which made it even darker. But it just felt so forced to me. I don't know, the characters were just constantly running around saying like, oh, I'm so tortured, I'm so dark, I don't deserve love. We can never love each other because we are both married to evil. That was kind of the vibe it gave me. So in the end I gave this 3 stars. I was highly entertained, but it was not so good. And it reminded me a lot of The Ninth House in terms of atmosphere, tone of voice, even the main character. And I would say that one is much, much better in terms of writing. So if you are craving this vibe, I would say turn to The Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. The only thing that I have to say about this book is that it has black main characters, and I think that's very important in terms of representation, because in the fantasy and dark academia genre we rarely see that. So that is something that I really enjoyed about this book, but I think in terms of writing it could have been much better. The whole time I was just like, why is this happening? This doesn't make sense. Why are these things rules in this world? And you know, I was lost. After that, I finished The Lost Story by Max Sheffer, and this was recommended to me by someone on Instagram because I made a reel about fairy tales for adults, and they said I might also enjoy this one. And when I started it, I was like, this is going to be a 5-star read for me. This book is inspired by the Chronicles of Narnia, and it had exactly the same feeling of mystery, dark fantasy, nostalgia, and sort of the feeling of loss and longing for that magical world you could visit when you were a kid. I don't really know how to explain, but the atmosphere was so strong. The main characters were hilarious. There was a lot of sarcastic banter, and that is my favorite thing in the whole world. So I was like, this is going to be a favorite book for me. But then they went back to the fantasy world from their childhood, and the whole thing completely shifted. Like, where at the start it really felt like a mature fairy tale story for adults, when they came to the fantasy world, it just turned into a cheesy middle grade where all the characters were like nice to each other. It was love and rainbows and unicorns, and the whole world was so flat. There was zero world building, and it was just so corny, and the whole mysterious sort of dark fairy tale vibe, it was completely gone. It felt like the main characters went from 30-year-old adults to like 12-year-old kids, and I don't know, the author completely lost me there. And I think she just didn't really manage to keep the balance between writing a mature novel and bringing in those whimsical childhood fairy tale elements, because it felt like reading two completely different stories. So in the end, I also only gave that one 3 stars. Which kind of made me sad because I thought I was going to love it, but what can you do? And at the moment, I have to say I'm a little lost with reading. I started 3 different books because I just didn't know in what mood I was. I started a non-fiction about how witches became a feminist symbol of rebellion and perseverance. And it was really good so far. It's called In Defense of Witches, but I just was not into the non-fiction vibe. So then I started The House at Watch Hill, which is like a gothic romance book, I think. But that one was just so full of purple prose, I had to stop. Like, I love flowery language, poetic language, I'm a sucker for that. This one was too much, even for me, and that really says something. So I put that one aside as well. It has really good ratings on Goodreads, so I want to give it another chance, but now that I'm in sort of like a reading slump mood again, I decided to put that one aside. And then I decided to pick up The Graveyard Shift by Emma Rio, because it's a short novel and that usually helps when I'm in this mood. And I think that one's sticking. I'm at 40% right now and I'm really enjoying it. It's easy, it's fast-paced, it's intriguing, it's a little spooky and mysterious. So I think that's the perfect book to read right now in October. So that is all. I went through that super fast, I know, because I didn't want to talk for like 30 minutes here. I will be back with more reading updates later, and hopefully also more fun activities. As you could see yesterday, I did some pumpkin carving at my sister's house. And this is my creation. I'm actually really proud. When I thought of making a 5-pointed star in a pumpkin, I thought I could never make it work. I was scared it was gonna fall apart, but it looks pretty cool, so I'm very happy with that. And me and my boyfriend are still in the Netherlands right now. I did a bit of an extended stay because of some personal reasons. I had to stay longer, but we're going back to Italy in a few days. So I want to make the most of the last few days in the Netherlands in the autumn atmosphere, because the Netherlands in autumn is just magical. So I think tomorrow we're gonna try to go to a castle, because the autumn colors in the trees are at its peak right now and I want to enjoy it as much as I can. So I think a castle surrounded by all the autumn trees is going to be magical. I think we're going to the one in Utrecht. So if we're doing that, I will definitely take you along, and I will also be back with more reading updates later. Right now I'm gonna drink my tea and read more in The Graveyard Shift. This is like my one issue with the e-reader. It's so not aesthetically pleasing to hold it up in a video. I'm so heartbroken about that. But I did order a really cute e-reader case that makes it look like an old leather book. So I think that's going to help embrace it even more. But so far, I would say it was a great buy. I'm not regretting a thing. So I will see you later. We arrived back in Italy yesterday, and of course it's time for the first order of business, which is a walk in the park. The last time I was here it was still summer, and now the autumn colors are coming in, and I was just so excited to see it. So I took Louis, and we're gonna have a nice morning in the park. I brought my book and I'm just gonna spend a slow morning here. Louis is a little bit nervous because he was at my parents with me the past 2 months, but they live in a very secluded place and he never really sees other dogs or people there. So right now he's a bit nervous to be out in the world again and like be surrounded by so many other people and dogs. But I believe in him. I think he will get used to it quickly again. But now we're a little bit nervous. And I already spotted so many squirrels walking in, so that is the goal for today. Spot squirrels and hopefully also a lot of mushrooms. You ready to explore? Louis! Let's go. It is so stunning, oh my god. Cue the Witchy Forest compilation. Update of this vlog, and I finished another 2 books, and they were both mediocre as well, so it's not really a fun reading update, I'm sorry. So I'm a little sad about this vlog's reading because I think all of them were 3-star reads. They were not horrible, but they were just not memorable for me, and I don't think I will ever read them again. So that is a little sad, but let's first go through them. The first book I finished is Mooncakes by Wendy Xu and Suzanne Walker, which is a graphic novel. I think I mentioned it last time as well, but I'm not sure. This was really cute. The art style was absolutely adorable, and my favorite part were all the magical spirit animals in the woods, but the story was just not that memorable. I feel like for cozy graphic novels, the storylines are a lot the same, especially the queer and coming of age ones, which kind of makes sense because I think there are a lot of similar experiences there and people want to write about that. But I feel like I've kind of seen the genre now, so this one was just a little too much of the same for me, but it was really cute, and just for the art alone I would definitely give this a try. And then the other book I finished is what I started last time, and the other book I finished is the one I started last time already, which is Graveyard Shift by Emil Rio. And that one was also a little disappointing in the end. I ended up giving it 3 stars because at the beginning it was so promising, it was very spooky. It started out so creepy with the friends at the graveyard, and then they see this open grave and they're like, what the hell is happening? And there's a lot of suspense because you don't know what's going on yet. But like about halfway through the book, it already gets revealed what is behind the grave and what the whole situation is there. So you kind of already know the mystery. And after that, it just becomes a bunch of biological terms that are dumped on you and you have no idea what's going on. And the characters sort of go on while the mystery is already solved, and it feels like it doesn't make sense. It just ends in such a fizzled out way. When I finished the last chapter, I went to turn the page because I thought there was more coming, and that was it. And I was like, what? That was it? I thought like a whole other mystery needed to happen to make this book like end on a exciting note, but it did not. So that was a little disappointing to me. The writing was good, the writing was nice. I remember this from If You Were Villains as well, like the writing was good. But this one just mentioned so many things but left like a lot of questions, and also it just felt anticlimactic. So a little disappointed. But I must say that the fact that I only read 3-star books is also due to myself choosing books that I kind of suspect will be 3 stars. Because lately I've just been craving easy, fast reads that I can easily get into. And those type of books, they do what you want them to do, you know? But they also don't leave an impression or a mark on me usually. And I know if I put in a little more effort and just grab a book that I know will be 5 stars or at least 4 stars, I will be rewarded for that. But for some reason I can't bring myself to do that lately. But I'm going to try. I need to read a 4 or 5-star book. I just have to. And I know The Overstory by Richard Powers will be one. And I also know this is like the perfect time to read this. It's autumn. I spend a lot of time outside admiring nature. And this book is about nature and about trees. The hidden life of nature that humans are usually not standing still enough for to notice. And it's dense, it's heavy, I think it's going to be difficult, but I'm going to try to force myself to push through, because these type of books, there's a risk of me taking weeks to finish this and it putting me in a reading slump, but I always know that at the end it feels so rewarding, because literature has just so many more layers. You can think about stuff, there's hidden meanings, you find something of yourself in those books, and I need that again. I need that. I love reading lighthearted fantasy, I love reading like moody vampire novels, but I think it's time that I read something with a little bit more weight to it again. So let's try. Don't come for me if I end up grabbing another cozy fantasy again. It might still happen, but for now this is the book I'm going to try to read. So that was the end of this vlog. I hope you enjoyed all my cozy autumnal shots, which is mostly what this vlog was, I think. I think my next video is going to be a PR unboxing, because I came back to Italy to a lot of packages and I have to pick another one up this afternoon at the post office. So I think it'll be fun to do like a chatty unboxing. So I will film that soon. Thank you for watching and I will see you in the next video. Bye!